Jumbo and the Cassowary. Jumbo the baby elephant was not out of place in my childhood home in northern India because India is where elephants belong, and in any case, the house was always full of pets brought home by grandfather who was in forest service. But the cassowary was different. No one had ever seen such a bird before. Not in India, that is, grandfather had picked it up on a voyage to Singapore, where he had been given the bird by a rubber planter who did got it from a Dutch trader who did got it from a man in Indonesia. Anyway, it ended up at our home in Dehra and seemed to do quite well in the subtropical climate of the Himalayan foothills. It looked like a cross between a turkey and an ostrich, but bigger than the former and smaller than the latter, about 1.5 inches in height. It was not a beautiful bird, not even a friendly one, but it had come to stay, and everyone, including Jumbo, was curious about it. Jumbo seemed eager to make friends with the cassowary, but we were a little worried for him. We knew this cassowary was not, by nature, very sociable and it had a mean kick. So we watched closely. Jumbo circled around the odd-looking creature and then he stretched out his trunk to examine the texture of the bird's stumpy wings. The cassowary responded only by slowly and slyly raising one of his powerful legs. Its eyes gazed into space with an innocent air. We knew what that meant. We had seen that leg raised on former occasions, suddenly shooting out with a force that would have done credit to a camel. In fact, camel and cassowary kicks are delivered in much the same way, except the camel kicks backward like a horse and the bird forward. Grandfather wished to spare our baby elephant from a painful experience and hastily led him away from the bird. But Jumbo persisted in trying to make friends. He sidled up again to the cassowary and prodded the bird with his trunk. Swift as lightning, the big bird hit up straight from the hip and knee joints, and Jumbo ran squealing to grandfather. For several days, Jumbo avoided the cassowary, and we thought he had learned his lesson. He kept to himself, crossing and recrossing the garden, swinging his trunk. Then, about a week later, he appeared on the veranda at breakfast time in his usually cheery, childlike manner, and he sidled up to the cassowary as if nothing had happened. We were amazed at his trust, and so it seemed was the bird. Had the painful lesson already had been forgotten? What about the old saying, elephants never forget? Another dose of the same medicine would serve our Jumbo right. We watched as once again the cassowary began to draw up his fighting legs in a sinister manner. It was nearing the right position for the master kick when all of a sudden the baby elephant seized the cassowary's other leg with his trunk and pulled the bird down. There followed a clumsy flapping of wings, an indignant swelling of bird's wattle, and a most undignified waiting up as it were a floored boxer doing his best to beat the counter of 10. The cassowary then stalked up, trying its best to look unconcerned.